What's changed around the shop so far is just the structure of the shop. We put up a lot of new shelves to help better organize the workstations for our employees. We feel as though that it's important that when the employee comes in, everything is clear, like as far as, hey, this is the supply area, hey, this is this area, hey, this is that area. So we put more shelves up to create more structure in the shop, and we also wanted to clear up as much things that were on the floor that were unnecessary, that didn't need to be on the floor, as possible. We still are getting a few more things together, but that's the most thing that changed, is just the shelves and the structuring of everything. We also implemented a rules and regulations for each station. So these are the rules that the printers have right here. These are the rules that whoever cleaning the screens, that they need to abide by. And then we have another one for the burning station. So I broke the rules down for each department and screen print, and then this is just, we feel as though these were the rules to the best way to keep the business organized and just keep that structure. I feel like this season that I'm in right now, I feel like for me to get to that next level, it's going to require more structure and a better system. I feel like the biggest thing is the structure. I mean, I'm about to release a Silenzio drop next week. The last time I dropped the last collection was late June. So, I expect this to be a big fourth quarter. I mean, the biggest thing is, for me, it's just structure and organization. That's literally just taking that step back and getting organized, 100% organized. No rent rules, no nothing. Having a system for every aspect of the business. I feel like that's the biggest thing moving into the fourth quarter, for me. Just getting more structure. Really, I'm in the mindset of getting ready for the new year, 2023. How do I want my 2023 to be? I know I'm gonna make money, but my main focus is getting more organized. So I feel like that's the biggest thing moving into this fourth quarter for me. It's not no sales revenue goal, none of that. I just wanna get more organized, bro. I feel like the lack of organization definitely hinder my business in some ways, as far as everything. You can't expect to get to a certain level when your organization or your infrastructure of your business is just, it's not right. It's not set up to succeed. I feel like a lot of businesses run into a lot of problems by not setting up their infrastructure and making sure that, hey, this is organized. A lot of us entrepreneurs, we just think about one solely thing. We just think about making money. But a lot of people don't understand is when you get organized, it's easy for the money to come. It's easy to make the money. It's more so having those systems and that organization to be able to keep the money. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I learned recently. It's, okay, Garnell, you mastered how to make money, but now let's master how to structure your business to be as organized as possible. That's really the next hump for me to get to that next level. I feel like infrastructure and organizing my business is just the next step for me. And these are things that entrepreneurs should do before they start a business. Like I said, we all excited to make money, but where's your structure? Where's your organization? You have to lay a solid foundation so certain things can run smoothly. So I pretty much, like I said, I'm taking a step back to make sure that my foundation is laid correctly and that my employees can feel comfortable in the work environment that they work in. Feel like, hey, I am a part of something that's organized, and just hopefully that will make them want to thrive even more. So that's my biggest thing right now. I feel like leading by example more so is with your actions. You only can lead by your actions. Firm believer on leading by action. I'm not going to sit here and wrap you up all day about what it takes to be successful, but I will show you by my actions. I will show you with my daily approach to what I do on a day-to-day basis, what it takes to be successful. I feel like being a good leader starts with your actions. If your actions speak louder than words, so if your actions are strong, I feel as though anyone that you're leading would pick up. Depending on what type of person they are. But depending on what type of person they are, cause that shit don't work with everybody. It's just depending on what type of person they are. It's crazy because it's like I read a book a month ago, probably longer than a month ago, but I want to read it again. It was based off of leadership, but it was speaking from a coach's perspective of leading a team. Like it was like a NFL coach, and he was just talking about the things that he had to deal with getting the team to all buy into one system. But the book is recommended for entrepreneurs and CEOs to read. I really wish. I gotta see if I can pull it up. He was saying some real good stuff, man. Like, man, he was saying some really, really good stuff, man. I would have to dig a little deeper.
Dig and find that.
I'm gonna try to find this shit. I'm trying to find this shit.
I know the next question gonna be, what book was it?
Yeah, like, this shit was a good ass book.
What are you reading right now?
I'm reading No Excuses by Brian Tracy. This is like my 4th time reading this book, bro, but this is the book that changed. This is like my 5th time reading this book, but this is the book that changed my life, bro. As far as it helped me to develop just a whole different type of mindset. Like, it's called No Excuses, but every chapter starts with self-discipline. So it'll be like self-discipline in finance, self-discipline in personal growth, self-discipline, and like I said, every chapter starts with self-discipline. So that book right there changed my life, bro. I remember the mindset that I was in before I read that book, and it took me to a whole nother level. I turned into a beast off of that book. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I didn't feel sorry for you. It teach you not to feel sorry for yourself. Take fully accountability for wherever you are in your life right now. Like, I'm responsible. I am responsible. And like, I feel like affirming yourself, telling you that shit telling yourself that every day. Like, I am responsible for where I'm at in life right now. It's not nobody else. I am completely responsible over my life. I am completely responsible over the type of life that I want to provide for myself. So that book right there, man, like, that shit, and then it gets your mind so shocked. Like, he even talk about, like, if you doing good, like, tell yourself, get back to work. Like, keep repeating. He said, learn that phrase in your brain. Get back to work. Get back to work. Like, catch yourself doing anything. Like, he wants you to stay super, super focused. Like, he talk about so much stuff. Great leaders ignore the easy road and build their teams by taking the more difficult path, one that is filled with service and sacrifice. This requires you to lose your ego and love your team. If you love your team, you will do whatever it takes to build them up, even if it means tearing yourself down. I can honestly say I did that. Still doing it. I'm still doing it too. But that was something that, and I wrote that down February 22nd, 2022. That's something that it takes to be a good leader. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, a lot of bosses don't talk about how they really have to put other people before themselves sometimes. Like, it's weeks where I pay my team before I pay myself. And I feel like a lot of CEOs don't talk about that, as far as you really have to put other people before yourself sometimes for the long game of it. I feel like it takes a lot of stomach, man, to put somebody else before yourself. That's really what makes you a real leader and a real boss as well. Putting other people before yourself and making the sacrifices that a lot of people don't know about. It's a lot of sacrifices and putting people before yourself. But if you do believe in your team, that's what a good leader gonna do. I feel like they would be proud of me. Because I cut off a lot of dead loose ends that I was holding on to, trying to just get certain people to buy into my vision, and I was holding on to them, like, to the point where they could have been taking advantage of me. I feel like the new me today, I got way more assertive. I wasn't afraid to try and fail. I wasn't afraid. I feel like the new me today is failing way harder than the guy 6 months ago who was scared to fail a little bit, and I say, like, even with the screen printing thing, I feel like in some cases I did run away from it. I ran away from it because I didn't think, like, damn, like, when you see like all the guys coming in struggling, like, damn, how the fuck they can't learn this shit? Like, is it that hard? It kind of like scared me at the same time. So I feel like I had to really take like that big leap of faith. Like, I'm gonna do this shit no matter what happens. If I fail, I'm gonna just keep going. But That's definitely like the version I'm proud of myself at 6 months ago. It's still a lot that I'm trying to battle with, just with personal growth that I'm trying to overcome, just to be a better person overall. But what keeps me going back after a hard day is just knowing how much I invested into this, like remembering why I started. I always tell people, remember why you started. I feel like remembering where I came from and where I'm at today keeps me going. Like, and I also just like listening to a lot of podcasts, listening to a lot of other successful people, and just listening to their stories. Like, it's feel like it's supposed to feel this way, you know. Like all the successful people that I looked up to, or not even just looked up to, did research about. All of them say it was hell getting there. Like, what really successful person you know, like, didn't say it wasn't hard getting it? Would you agree, Jonathan?
I don't know. I can't think of one.
That said it was just easy.
That did something amazing.
Yeah, that did something amazing. You know, like, it was hard getting it. It was draining. You felt like you wanted to quit every day, but continued to keep fighting. All of, for me, I simplified it. It seems like all of them just kept going. No matter what happened. No matter if the worst case scenario, if your shop could have burned down today, they just kept going. So that's kind of how I feel like what's happening for me. Like, even that podcast you sent me of the second guy, the Mexican guy, talking, like, he said, like, it took me 15 years to get to this point the way I'm at today. He said he making like $850,000 a month. So it takes time, and I feel like entrepreneurship, if you don't train your mind for the long game of it, you're gonna easily top out. Entrepreneurship is a long game. It's a long game. Like, you really have to get your brain prepared for the long journey of it. Like, years and years. I'm talking about 10, 15 years worth of work to maybe until you get to that $1 million a month point. It might take 10 to 15 years. It's not nothing that's going to happen overnight. It's not an overnight journey. And I feel like that's why a lot of people top out in entrepreneurship early, because they get in it and they think it's sweet. But once they realize the work that it really takes, because entrepreneurship is all about believing in yourself every day. You really have to wake up every day and believe in yourself and rely on yourself to pay your bills, to pay your employees, whatever you have going on. Like, it takes a lot to believe in yourself every day. Like, I can make this happen. You kind of have to be insane to a point. You know, like you said the other day, you kind of have to be insane to the point where you really believe that you can do this shit. That every day is a test itself. I feel like being so young and being the breadwinner to take care of a lot of people, it definitely is a lot of pressure, but I feel like you have to know why you're doing it. You know, you have to know why am I making this sacrifice to do this for my team? Why am I doing it? You know, it's feel like it's a reason behind everything. So I feel like I believe in what I have going on, so I feel like that easily keeps me going. And I try not to think about the pressure all the times. I try to just, I try to really just take it day by day. You know, because it's some weeks, bro, I feel like I don't know how I'm going to make it, but I always end up making it. And I think that's just the go-getter in me. I feel like I was raised to be the breadwinner too, though. I ain't going to lie. Like, I feel like when you raised by solid men, bro, you got like solid dudes in your corner growing up. You see how they handle shit. You see how they take care of their families. You see how, like, they the breadwinner. They hold shit down. So I feel like I naturally inhabited that by being around the type of solid stand-up dudes that I was around, that I got to see coming up. And I feel like when you the breadwinner for your team, it's sacrifice. You know that these people are counting on you to make this shit happen. You know, you trying to get them to believe in your vision. So it's like you gonna do whatever it takes, no matter what, to make sure your ship don't sink. You gonna do whatever it takes to make sure your ship don't sink. If you at home and your moms need groceries and you the type of nigga that's just gonna go make it happen, you gonna go make it happen. You know, like, I never been the type of person to just sit back and accept the worst. You know, I always felt as though that I have the power to change this situation. You know, and that's what I did. Like, even when I was struggling coming up, like, I always knew that I was going to change this situation. I'm going to be the one that's going to change my family situation and my circumstances. Like, It's hard being a breadwinner though, bro, cause like you do be having a lot of people depend on you, but I feel like that's what comes with being the boss. At the same time, the moment you sign up and say, "Hey, I'm ready to be the boss," your ass better be ready to take care of people because that's what the boss does. He take care of people. He look out for people. He put people before himself for the long-term benefit of whatever vision that they have. I just feel like the desire to never want to see like your team or your family unhappy is enough drive to keep you going. Like if you truly care about the people in your life, as far as your loved ones or people on your team within business, you're going to do whatever it takes to keep them happy. You know, that's really what a true breadwinner does. He's going to do whatever it takes to keep his tribe happy at the end of the day. Even if it does hurt himself, that's what a real breadwinner is.